People, deluded, I'm back again. I'm so excited. Arsenal won. My clothes is hanging to the set, but like I said, Arsenal won. We beat Everton 3-2, so we might as well talk about the player ratings in relation to this 5-goal thriller. And I want to watch the game again from a different perspective, being on Sky Sports, especially because a lot of people are saying Leno was potentially at fault for one of the goals. Then they say, no, it's this guy and that guy. From the view I had, if I'm completely honest with you people, it just looked like a collective team mistake. Like, look, we already knew going into the game against Everton, first and second balls, how we defend from set pieces, whether they're corners, free kicks given away, whatever, we need to fix up. We looked very good even when we scored. They scored a goal. We looked like we could score goals, but the 2 goals we conceded were poor. Players did redeem themselves, and like I said, I feel it was a good performance today. But yeah, in relation to Leno, I'm going to give Leno a 9. Now, like I said, I need to watch the game again to pinpoint if it was Leno's thing, because my view, it looked like Leno could have done better, but a lot of other players could have done better. But what I did see from Leno is making several big saves in that second half. There was one, Calvert-Lewin, don't get me wrong, he should have scored, but Leno can't. That's not Leno's fault. He made some big saves, and I did feel second half in particular, while Pepe did well and the team did well to get that goal to put us ahead, there were some heart-and-mouth moments, and we could definitely manage the game better in terms of game management and being a bit more comfortable. I'm sure on reflection, because the 2 goals, like I said, we've conceded, going against Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, these are goals we've seen them score against other oppositions. These are things that are probably all the analytical team and analysis people were probably clipping up fancy little clips and telling the boys, these are the sort of situations we've got to avoid. So to not defend convincingly from them goals separately was calm. But I did feel certain individuals shined. Kolasinac, he wasn't on the field long enough to get a rating. Forget ratings and the performance, whether we won or lost. Apologies. Apologies, people. Forget the performance in Kolasinac's case. Again, I haven't read any reports, but from what I saw being at the game, it looked like a head collision. It's probably nothing more than a precaution, him coming off. Can't take chances with that. But I wish Sead Kolasinac a speedy recovery, praying it's not the worst, but he weren't on the field long enough to really get a rating. So I'm going to get that one out there. Back to Leno, I feel he redeemed himself if he did make a mistake, so I'm going to give him a 9 for them saves. Saka, I'm going to give Saka a 7, you know. I'm going to give him a 7. Really should be a 6, but he got the assist, and I did think away from the assist, when he came on, it gave us something. Xhaka and Saka, bit of a tongue one there, but I feel they've obviously when Aubameyang and Saka have a good relationship, and Martinelli and Saka do, but so does Xhaka and Saka, because you can see it. When Xhaka is there, at some point Xhaka's like, you know what, go be an actual left wing back. Go and do what you basically do on left wing. I'm going to cover you. And they both connected well. Obviously, Xhaka never got the assist, but they connected well for that equaliser. And I did feel Saka's impact changed the game for us people. And he gave us an outlet. And, you know, both our goals, our first 2 goals, forgive me if I'm wrong, came from the left-hand side. I could be wrong on that, but that's off the top of my head. So I'm going to give him a 7, but really it's a 6, because I don't feel he was poor in the second half. And he's a young man. It's not a scapegoating thing. It happens, innit? I'm not bashing him, because you lot know me, I'm Saka FC, big fanboy of that young man. I did feel a couple of defensive moments. He weren't clearing with too much conviction. I don't feel the concentration was there, and he weren't looking like a liability, but he normally plays a bit more convincing. I have to call a spade a spade. So I'll give him a 7. It should be a 6, but I'm going to give the young man benefit of the doubt for his assist and just his general impact upon coming on the field for Sead Kolasinac. So that's a 7. Mustafi, I'm going to give Mustafi a 9. Again, when I watched the game again, I might pinpoint where guys went wrong for the goals, but watching the game, being there first time round, people, Mustafi never put a foot wrong for me. There was a couple of heart-and-mouth moments from him, but I feel he was... Listen, going against them 2 strikers, you have to be on it, because, like you see, they're winning the seconds and first. They're good footballers as well in terms of 1-2s. You need to be on it. And I think Mustafi didn't cower away from the game he had at hand with them strikers today. I think he was one of the best players on the field, if I'm real with you lot, people. So I'm going to give him a 9, people. Changing his hair colour, in 1 minute it's blonde and it's silver, and he's putting in performances to match doing that. And from a human point of view, regardless of what I or you think of Mustafi, because in an ideal world he's potentially not good enough to get top 4, but it's commendable how he's got his head down and he's worked, and just it's nice to see a man in his job, or just a human being, more confident really. So Mustafi did his thing, and right now I owe him the biggest apology, because you weren't playing good enough previously, but right now you are, and he's one of the first names on the team sheet right now. So shout out to him. I think he gets a 9. Gonna give David Luiz an 8, because again, I'm not going to keep repeating it, but we can look at the goals again. But I think he reacted good in particular. I think he done very well organising. I think he did very well snapping in defensively as well. Obviously, it was a lovely pass to set up Aubameyang for one of his goals as well. So I'm going to give him an 8. Bellerin, I'm going to give him a 6. I think Bellerin could have done a bit more, if I'm real with you, man. Like, I'm a big Bellerin fan, but I feel he needs to offer a bit more. I don't know what's going on with Maitland-Niles, but since Maitland-Niles was introduced under Arteta, he's putting in performances. And if Bellerin, for me, again, if the manager thinks he's doing well, he's doing well. I don't think Bellerin was poor, but you just want to see a bit more. Like, he's overlapping. Like, there was one ball he played for Aubameyang, one lovely over the top, and I'm like, Bellerin, you got that in your locker. Why don't you do that a bit more? And sometimes he was backing off a bit too much defensively. And yeah, man, I think if I'm really cherry picking Arsenal's team right now, and if I was the opposition, for whatever reason, whether it's Aubameyang, Saka, Martinelli, we're very left-wing centric in terms of where our goals is coming with. Pepe got an assist and he does his thing. But I want to see a bit more from the lads on the right-hand side, if I'm honest with you, man. I want to see, same way I see Saka overlapping all the time and Kolasinac, I don't really see Bellerin doing that from start to finish, really, man. And I like Bellerin, man. He weren't poor today, but yeah, he had a tough time against Richarlison in the channels as well, in particular. But I think 6 out of 10 is fair. I'm going to give Granit Xhaka a 7. I think Granit Xhaka was good today. I'm going to give him a 7. He was involved for the first goal. I think he reacted well. Our game management collectively was poor as a team, but I was seeing what he was trying to come with to get the result. Going to give Ozil, I probably should give Ozil a 9, you know, but I'm going to give it 8. I think 8's about right. In fact, a 9, man. He put on a clinic in that second half with some of the passes and the way he managed the game. He came off, and probably a bit of that was to get a standing ovation, but I feel he played well enough to deserve staying on if it was. I'm not saying it was the wrong decision. So I'm going to change that and give him a 9. I think Ozil was good today, man, if you're looking at it on a non-biased thing. Going to give Ceballos a 9, and I think he played as well offensively as Ozil. But why I give him another point is because I think I saw Ozil tracking back and stuff today. But I think really Ceballos put in a shift defensively, not necessarily in defensive areas, but a lot of tackles and things. Don't get twisted, there were times Ceballos, if I'm really picking at his game, I love that he holds on to the ball at times, but there's times you just clear it out, and then he's losing it and the opposition's getting the ball and stuff. But I like what I'm seeing with Ceballos, man, and we're having good problems in midfield now in terms of who plays and what sort of angle to go with. So I'm going to give him a bonus point, give him a 9. I'm going to give Eddie, I was on course to give Eddie Nketiah an 8, but he scored, bonus point, he gets a 9. And why I give him that is because he scored. It was lovely moments, lovely moment for him in his second start under Arteta in the league. He hit the crossbar, probably should have scored that. A couple other half chances he could have done better with. And it was good for him to obviously get the goal. That played a part in this result today. But one thing I wanted to see a bit more of Eddie is the general play, and I think he worked his socks off today. I think he got involved in terms of the ball playing. Saw him trying to manage the game and running into the corner flags a bit too early, but I saw a bit more of a mature performance from Eddie, especially even in the air as well, and he's not the biggest. But I saw a bit more like, if I'm thinking of the game, I can remember him a bit. Like I'm screaming like, yeah, you played. Like I'm going home thinking Eddie played this game. He had a bit more of an impact, I say, is the word I'm trying to get at. So I like what Eddie came with. You got to give Aubameyang a 10, man. He scored 10. He scored 2 goals. He put a shift in on the left hand side. It probably weren't his best of games and away from the goals in terms of highlights, but I think he mucked in today, man. And at the end of the day, he stood up to be counted as the captain and got 2 goals for us today. And even that, even though he scored 2 goals, I'm seeing him sprinting back and putting in a shift defensively. Whether he likes to play on the flanks or not, he's putting in a shift. So I'm going to give him a 10, really and truly, man. How can I not? Pepe, I'm going to give Pepe a 7. He done well to get the assist. I think it was a good performance from Pepe, and it's lovely for him to get us back in, play his part, getting us back in the game in the second half. And I feel Pepe was good today, man. I really think there's a player. Obviously, there's a bit of fine-tuning in terms of when to hold on to it, when to release it and stuff. But I think there's a player in Pepe. I could be wrong, but in all comps, is he not 10 goals, 10 assists? So I think there's a player in Pepe, and he looked confident today as well. Second half, at times he did kind of go missing, but convincing performance from everybody. I feel Guendouzi, not really on the field long enough to get a rating, but I feel he impacted the game in his context as well as he could. I feel Torreira did okay, he's done better, but he did okay. Obviously, Bukayo Saka, in sad circumstances, had to come off of Kolasinac and obviously got his rating. I don't think I'm missing anybody else out, people. So in relation to the game against Everton, I've got nothing more to say, so I'm going to get out of it. Thank you for always watching my thing and supporting me each and every time. But for now, till you meet again, Deluded, I'm out.